Okay, so my job was to discuss the prompts at the end of the section on the death penalty, basically. For the first one, what is the central purpose of criminal punishment? In my opinion, that would be to achieve deterrence, retribution, or incapitation, which is deterrence is basically giving you the idea and the opportunity to stay away from doing crime or the same crimes or any other crime. So doing like prison time or jail time should be around you to provide deterrence for you. Retribution is basically out of revenge. It's basically an emotional state which basically the jury sentences a certain person for revenge, or it could be that that criminal did that out of revenge, and retribution is what came of it. And incapitation is basically when you just serve jail time to learn your lesson. So for the second one is what sentencing options are used in the U.S. So I listed probation, fines, short-term incarceration, and suspended sentences. Basically all those are dependent on what crime you commit or how many crimes you do commit. Like for probation, you just got out of jail and you're on probation with a probation officer, or it could overall be your sentence, just probation. Fines are also one that's basically a traffic ticket, a parking ticket, basically tickets that you can get for breaking smaller laws. For the next one, it's summarize the changes in the public's attitude towards capital punishment. For the majority of history, capital punishment was looked more fondly upon than it was not looked fondly upon. A lot of it was because people, if you did a certain crime that it wasn't looked fondly upon with the public, then the public wanted you executed. But as earlier 2000s came around, even the 80s and 90s, that type of punishment was looked fondly upon because they say it's breaking the rights of humans. It's a human violation right that has been broken. For the next one, it's argue for or against the Supreme Court reasoning for banning the execution of persons with mental retardation and juveniles. I completely agree with this because people that have Down syndrome, certain things don't really process in their head that much. I have a Down syndrome cousin, and I can see that firsthand. Just certain cues don't like cooperate in her head very well, and she has a hard time picking up what's right and what's wrong. So I completely agree with that. I also completely agree with the juveniles because it takes a certain age for you to reach before you are at a level of maturity, which is where you can know what is right and wrong. And I think that age is around 25 is when your brain is fully developed. But I agree with 18 because you should know not to kill somebody. So I completely agree with that as well. For the last one, what are the characteristics of people on death row today? When I researched it, it basically told me people that are high school dropouts, or they weren't very smart to begin with. It is also people that were found in the wrong environments. They grew up in the wrong areas where crime is very prominent at, which is why a lot of those people that are in jails and prisons today are very intellectually limited and academically deficient, and they grew up on the wrong area and they just let crime run their life. All right, thank you.